Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will now open the adjourned regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Victorville. Anybody that wishes to speak to the council, would please go out and fill out a white card in the foyer and bring it up to our city clerk. Item number 1 is public comment. I have no card for public comment, so anybody wishing to speak. Seeing no one come up, we will now move to the continued appeal hearing. The appeal hearing called Hear Arguments For or Against the Adoption of Resolution Number 08-128, Version A, Granting, or Version B, Denying Parcel Map Site Plan and Conditional Use Permit. Is there any comments from the council? Okay, seeing none, we will now open the public hearing. And if the appellant is here, yeah, I guess he's not, or they're not. Anybody, I only have one card. And his name is Pat Dominguez.
Good afternoon, council members, mayor, and city officials. I am here in support of the Walmart establishment, and with all due respect to the underlying issues and the environmental concerns or the lack thereof regarding the establishment of Walmart in the Dunia Plaza, I would like to state that measures and calculated inventory protocols compliant with the California Environmental Quality Act are indeed important considerations that can be addressed in an amicable manner. As such, equally important are those jobs that Walmart can produce, particularly for our young population. As an educator and business consultant, I have seen students, high school students, in desperate need of jobs to help increase the income level for their families as a whole. I'm not certain if you're aware, but there are approximately 1,200 students just within the city of Victorville that graduate yearly, and those are individuals that officially graduate that are in need of jobs. And I'm not saying that in total it's the 1,200 need jobs and that Walmart can help facilitate all these individuals, but they certainly can help. And certainly there is a small portion that go to college, but the greater need still exists, which are those individuals that need employment at that level, and Walmart can certainly facilitate training jobs, jobs that have on-the-job training for supervisory and management levels at a later date. That is my concern, which is predominantly on behalf of the students and the our youth population. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one other card. Mr. Norman Miller from the Golden Triangle Ad Hoc Committee.
Is it Miss Mayor? Council members? Norman Miller from the Golden Triangle Ad Hoc Committee, and I was only going to say a couple words when I got up here, and that was basically for those folks to go home. But I want to say one more thing, and it's bothering me, is that, in my opinion, my feeling, that this is like the carpetbaggers from the old days. They're coming in here and messing up with our lifestyles and that. I think they should go back home, because the only thing it's going to do is make money for the lawyers and lose money for the city, money that we can use for infrastructures and other items that we need. But we're going to be spending it on lawyers and things. I don't think that's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Okay. I will now close the public hearing. I have no other cards, and seeing no other, I will close the public hearing and take comments from Mr. Dubonowski.
Mayor Pro Tem Allman, if I may just brief you, Essentially, as you recall at the last meeting, we received a large stack of documentation. You've all had an opportunity to review it and go through it, as has your staff, and the conclusion is that there's nothing material substance that's new that has not been before the Planning Commission before in connection with your consideration. We received a document, I believe this afternoon, from the Briggs Law Firm, essentially alleging that we did not, in our EIR, address the issues of climate change. The issue here, however, is that the city was inadvertently left off the list, and that the EIR does, in fact, address those issues and cover those issues. I think it's staff's opinion that, and the recommendation would be to deny the appeal based on the fact that there's nothing of substance here that has not already been addressed in our EIR and the documents considered before the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to make a comment?
Well, I read the staff report.
I have to agree with Councilmember Cabriolas that I read over the documents, both from Briggs Company, law firm, and what staff has provided us, and I see nothing to lead me to believe the Planning Commission was flawed in their decision whatsoever. I think this is a good project. I'm disturbed that I get a foot stack of papers that we have to print out to read, and then I don't have anybody here from that company to indicate the reason they gave us all that documentation. They just expect us to read it, and to me it was a delay tactic. This is a project that's good for Victorville. It's good for our economy. It's good for jobs, which is what we shoot for, and I will second the motion for Mr. Cabriolas.
I concur with everybody's comments are up here.
We have a
If there was
first.
any relevant information
Should point
in
out
the
if you
future,
want, I
we
mean,
could
there are
call me,
representatives, but I don't see a need given the fact that staff has already adequately addressed the issues, but there are representatives available if you have any questions for them.
No, I'm fine. Your button.
Okay. Mr. Cabral has made a motion. We have a second. May we vote?
Councilman Rothschild, thank you.
Unanimous.
Mayor Caldwell said, you run a good meeting.
Oh, did I win?
No.
I won.
No, you do not.
Formally adjourn the
Because
meeting.
there's no council comments or anything
We're
else. You
adjourned.
don't-
Adjourned.